So I got to thinking about this thing and why we're filming this docu-series. Even some of the people that are in it here at the gym were wondering why we're doing it. And truthfully, part of this is for the average person to see what it's like to try to be fit. The average person's not training 6 hours a day. We're not getting meals delivered to our house because we're sponsored by a company. That's not what the average person, that's not what fitness really looks like. We're trying to give you a real look, a real inside look at what it's like to have some discipline and to train with a little bit of an attitude, because that's what you should be doing, not because you have to, but because you want to and kind of enjoy it and have figured out that training hard is really where results come from, not because you're going to win a prize or some money at the end. A lot of the people that we follow on Instagram, I mean, fitness celebrities are often just trying to sell you things like the latest recovery tools, the newest and greatest pair of moon boots to help you recover while you're on the... Nobody's doing that. The average person's not doing that. They're not you, and you don't really need it. You're not training 6 hours a day. It's not your full-time job. So the people that are in this docuseries, most likely you can relate to them on some level, a lot more than you can relate to somebody that's winning functional fitness competitions, right? So hopefully that's not lost on anybody. These are real people with real jobs, real lives, real responsibilities, not just training and getting paid to do it. Hopefully that makes sense.
Hey, it's 4:47. Actually, it's probably 4:45. My clock's always wrong. It's 33 degrees outside. Carl's sleeping.
I got a headache.
Mike just pulled up.
But you know what I did? Came any damn way. Because you know what? Nobody cares.
Nobody cares.
And then I'll hate myself all day if I don't come, so.
Yeah, just get up and do it anyway.
Yep, definitely FOMO when you don't come. We're here!
Woo!
Yay!
Yeah.
Why would you train in the cold, right? Why would I have people training in the cold? The same reason you train in the heat. It's another element, another way to produce result through condition. And we talked about this a lot in the summertime when it was hot. When it's hot, you can't train. You can't complain about the heat. It doesn't serve you to have complaints, right? When you're trying to train. And ultimately, you're here to sweat. So the same thing goes for training in the cold. There's no reason to complain about the cold. You can't control it. It's out of your control. It's just another element, another circumstance, another way for you to become more mentally strong. And that was the goal by getting people outside to start that workout. Ultimately, when they got back in the gym, they warmed right up and people started stripping layers because they weren't cold, right? It's a temporary condition. And that's what I try to teach people throughout these workouts, is something that I learned, is that pain is truly temporary. It's one of those things that you can overcome with mental strength. And the more you can do that in workouts, the more often and more likely you'll be to overcome things in your life.
Oh, Coach Mike. Where do I begin? I've never met anybody like him. He is such a character. I can be still in my car before I ever get out, and he's screaming at me, "Get out of the car, Cobra, it's time to work out." Or he picks on me constantly, but I wouldn't have it any other way. He is fantastic. He's definitely doing what he's called to do. He's a coach, he's a leader, he leads by example. He doesn't walk around with his phone, looking at the weather. He's always on top of his A game, and I just absolutely love him and Lig. They are like my family.
Coach Mike takes no sorry, you have to bleep that, but I like that. I like the tough love that he gives. His programming works for me. It might not be for everybody, but for me, I like the varied workouts daily. Like, we're not always like being killed every day at the gym. There's a purpose and a plan for everything. I'm just now doing macros with him because I've never learned how to eat maintenance. And I kind of always did this up and down thing, and I need to figure out how to just be even keel. I'm at my boss's house, J-Dub's house. We go to the gym together. She does not like raw chicken. This is gonna be so much fun. I feel like, do you have any gloves? Would that help? So I came over this afternoon to kind of give her a crash course in macros. No, in macros. I'm teaching her how to weigh things and meal prep something and put it into a tracker so that she can hopefully continue in the future. It's not looking so good right now. Macros are a way to count calories, but also make sure you're getting enough of the macronutrients in. So making sure you're getting enough protein in, which is important for us because we're lifting a lot of heavy weights. So you want to make sure you're getting enough protein in your diet to sustain that, and enough carbohydrates to sustain your energy levels, and then enough fat to balance everything out. So step number 1, we're gonna prep the chicken and we're gonna weigh the chicken raw so we know exactly how much is going into the recipe.
Okay, so I'm putting all of this in there, right?
Yep.
Okay. This is really gross.
So, so we prepped the chicken. It's ready. It's been weighed.
It's really gross.
Jessica was really grossed out by it. Now we're gonna put it on the pan with the seasonings and then bake it.
Nutrition is a vital component to having lifelong success in fitness. If you always work out, I mean, you can go to your local gym and see this. You'll know a guy that's been there for 3 years and he looked like he had 30 pounds to lose when he got there, and he still does, but you see him every day. Well, that's because he's never cleaned up his diet. And I know that to be true because that's where I had worked before owning my own gym. I worked in gyms like that where people would just maintain. And in my world, if you're maintaining, you're actually getting worse. Nutrition's something that a lot of people don't focus on in the beginning because it's so hard to change your lifestyle. And I'm fully aware of that. People need to kind of be nudged and pushed toward making nutrition something that is a focus and it's a lifestyle change. So for most people, it's a difficult thing to tackle, but it's really where the results are had. If you can focus on making your food preparation part of your lifestyle, it's ultimately going to get you the results that you want by combining that with quality training.
We work out about 45 minutes a day, probably less sometimes. And I see a lot of people working out a couple hours a day, 3 hours a day at other places, and some people get somewhere, some don't. Nutrition actually keeps me accountable for my intake, and I don't go over on too much things like too much fat, too much carbs, too much protein. It was a big change for me from keto since I was a very, very, very low carb, and now I'm more carbs and protein, less fat too. Feeding your body the right nutrients that you need also helps you excel with other things that you're doing, whether it be walking, training, lifting weights, cardio, things like that. So that has really, really helped and maintained me in not overeating. I was overeating my entire life. I was huge my entire life. And, I love rice. Rice was my biggest enemy. Now it's my biggest friend. I'm eating lots of rice. I love rice. That's my carbs. I eat vegetables. I eat all that stuff. But it's controlled. And I stay full, which is a good thing.
Weight loss journeys, it's one of those things you don't focus on them all. It's one component of things in here, and really like the transformation of someone in here or in a gym like mine is not it's not all about weight loss. It's about changing your mindset. And when someone changes their mindset and makes becoming more healthy a goal, and it's a legitimate goal. They just start to behave in a way that's going to produce results. And that's what you've seen in here with people like John and Felix, and being able to drop a lot of weight, but it's the right kind of weight. If you go back and you can look at where they started, when they kind of started their journey with how much muscle mass they had at that time, well, it's still the same. Like they're stronger people now, but they started up here. That journey's always going to begin in your head. And that's really what the program here is at Live Fit. It's a life program. I often make the joke that it's a lifestyle program that is disguised as a fitness program. The fitness is almost secondary when it comes to the mental strength and capability that you gain by training this way.
The beginning of 2020, when I first walked in these doors, man, I thought I knew something about fitness and working out, and I'd been lifting weights ever since I guess I was around 17 years old, 16, 17 years old, off and on, and I worked out pretty hard, and when I was getting ready to play college ball and everything, and man, I didn't know jack. The first day in here, I thought I was gonna die, but something about Mike, man. It's the way he handled himself, and the way he talked to us, and the way he coached, man. I told Carla when we got home, I couldn't even hardly walk up the stairs. I couldn't. I sat down, I couldn't get back up. But man, I said I'm going back, and I'm going. And it wasn't 3 days in. I said, man, I want to be a part of this. And so, sorry to go from taking you all the way back to there, but it feels like ever since I stepped through these doors, I said that when I met my wife, my life changed. When my son was born, I started to get my stuff together. But man, when I walked through these doors, and after I'd been here for about a month, everything else just fell into place, man.
Good morning. Just checking in. Just finished Friday morning workout. It was Chelsea, which was 5 pull-ups, 10 push-ups, 15 air squats for 30 minutes, every minute on the minute. And then if you couldn't do that, then it becomes an AMRAP. It was a tough one. I had to really get my mind right to complete that. I got 20 rounds in. I don't know if you can even. But the win was today. I did 100 pull-ups, and I've never done that before. So I'm gonna take that one as a win. And just, next time this workout pops up, I'm gonna see if I can get a little better each time. That's part of it. So anyway, just wanted to share. Hope you guys have a good one. It's a good start to Friday. Have a good weekend.
I was already familiar with the style of nutrition that Coach teaches, which is macros. I learned about that earlier this year, and honestly, I was doing that on my own without coaching and that sort of thing. I was given kind of a baseline to go by, and so Coach has helped me tweak those numbers, because I was really strict on myself, and I really was following it to a T, to a point where I was losing weight, and I got to a point where I didn't want to lose more weight. And I know that sounds crazy, but it happens. If you don't know the proper way to do it and the proper things to feed yourself, then you're not fueling your body the way you need to. And doing these workouts here that are so demanding, I needed more fuel. And so he's helped me to tweak those numbers and to actually eat for my body and what my body needs. So yeah, it's been a tremendous help to know. Not only, honestly, I thought that I could just work out and eat whatever I wanted, and that is not the case. If you truly want to build the body composition that you want, you have to fuel it the way your body wants to be fueled.
I just got back from the gym from a pretty tough day of heavy squats and a lot of push-ups, and I'm starving. And I always eat breakfast food when I get back from the gym, so I'll show you what I have. I eat egg whites with one organic egg or cage free egg, I guess is what they are. And then that's a gluten-free waffle. That has a little bit of pumpkin spice, blueberries, and then I use this coconut syrup. And that's pretty much what I eat. I normally eat about a half an orange as well, which I haven't chopped that up for now, but I probably will. And then a couple hours from now, I'll eat lunch because I'll be hungry again. So anyway, that's it.
I've struggled a little bit. John has been gung-ho nutrition ever since we started. He literally counts everything he puts in his mouth. He does his macros. He lost a lot of weight. And then he started getting real small, and I'm like, all right, baby, now you can't be getting skinny on me. And so he's like, I'm just trying to get down this weight, and then I'm gonna change my macros, and I'm gonna start bulking up. And he actually started that. So he like added some protein, he added some carbs, and then he's kind of starting to bulk up. And with me, it's like, I'll be honest, I've counted my macros and done good. I usually do good Monday through Friday. Sometimes I fall off on the weekends because, again, I'm human, you know, and a lot of us do that. I had fallen off. I had went on a girls trip in September, and I had kind of fallen off then, and I was still doing good, but I really wasn't counting, but I kind of knew what to eat because I've been counting for so long. But I was coming in here, I was feeling tired, I was feeling groggy. I just didn't feel myself. I was like, ugh, and, you know, and then Thanksgiving came, and of course, you know, I gorged out for 3 days when I shouldn't have. And I kept thinking, you know what, I'll just wait till the beginning of the year. I'll just kind of do what I need to do, and I'll manage, and I'll just wait till the beginning of the year. And then after Thanksgiving, I was like, nope. I was like, not doing it. I was like, I feel like crap. I'm not doing it. And so I started back counting my macros on December the 1st because I was like, that'll be a month under my belt before the new year starts. And so I've been counting them again. And so I've only been counting them for, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and I've already lost like 2.5 pounds. We meal prep, John and I meal prep each week. We pretty much almost eat the same thing for breakfast every day. It's kind of boring, but it's what works. So a lot of times I'll just cook our meals that day so they're fresh. And then we plan out our dinners and everything like that. So that's what works for us, so.
It's about to be my favorite time of the day, lunchtime, and my other favorite time is dinner time. I eat twice a day. I used to do 3 or 4 meals a day, like smaller meals throughout roughly 6 to 8 hours. I have found that 2 meals does work for me, so I'm doing 2 meals a day. That's a lot of fat, carbs, and protein broken out into 2 meals. So I'm gonna put my meal together. I just finished working out. I'm gonna go ahead and eat this one. And then since I'm about to be out of food, I'm prepping for the next one. So I never wanna run out of prepped food. Otherwise that gets me in a rough situation. So I just, I'll go ahead and show you. I've got these items already cooked, or ready to go. So that's good. And then I have rice. So I'm gonna get close to finishing. I'll probably finish all this today, actually. And then I've got rice. This is brown rice ready to go, and I'll go ahead and cook that. And in my other crock pot, I've already got organic chicken, and I also have tilapia. I don't eat a lot of tilapia because of the mercury that's in it, but I do use it as a source of meat because I also have like a turkey burger, and that tends to have a little more fat, so sometimes I'll pair that with fish instead of the chicken. So anyway, chicken's ready to go in the first pot. And so we'll get that bad boy cooking. I use salt. I use sea salt. Let me grab that. Sea salt very liberally, so not really gonna be able to do that with you guys on the phone, so I'll just salt my food afterwards. Put it in for 2 minutes. Salt it when it gets out. And I'll have my meal. I'll go ahead and eat, and then I've already got stuff prepping for the next one, so I'm good to go.
I mean, we were only coming like 4 days a week.
Well,
Like, we wanted to commit to 4 days, but it's on you start getting to the days that you don't wake up, you don't do any type of physical activity, you don't really pay your dues.
Yeah.
Essentially, pay your fucking dues.
So
I don't know. And then you start wanting it every single day. Even as far as you don't have to go super hard every day, but you know, I used to watch this. It was like this show in 3rd grade, maybe it was 2nd grade. You know, in your classroom you had a TV. Well, we had like TV time from like 8 to like 8:15. It was just like it was like a show about. Do you remember Verb? Like, just do. Like Verb. It's what you do. Yeah. I was talking about like always. It was talking about physical activity and always being active, and I just feel like the human body needs that. I mean,
no,
not
they
even just the
definitely
human
need.
body,
If you're just
but
like a bump on a log,
literally
like
every animal.
yeah, everybody needs to be active. Just because like if you're inactive, like I don't know, I feel like you don't get the endorphins, you don't get the like benefits of like your health. Like you don't have as much energy. Like I have more energy
for
from
us,
working
it was
out.
more you feel more confident in yourself.
And that too.
When you have, it's the stories that you have when people come in here and go through the hell for 3 months, and then they look back at their previous self, look at the results, but it goes outside of just, what is it, anesthetics? Yeah, I'm using that term right?
What do you mean?
As far
The
as
aesthetics?
Aesthetics, yeah.
There you go.
Outside of that part, whew, she had to help me. Outside of that part, it's the feeling.
Fitness is a huge part of our family. It has been from the beginning, and before I started working out with him, I didn't realize, I guess, the importance of having fitness in your life. So I think that's changed a lot for me, and just taking care. I don't know why I'm so emotional. Of yourself, fitness, and just taking care of ourselves with our nutrition and showing our family how important it is to be able to live a long life and continue to do things that we do and be independent daily, and showing it doesn't take a lot, especially after you develop the habits, and that you can incorporate that daily until it's just part of your lifestyle. Every day, you know, I went from not working out at all before I met him to working out almost every day. Right now I work out about 4 days a week just because I work at FedEx, and we're on the tail end of peak season right now, so I've toned it back a little bit, but it's still important to me to be able to work out every day, just because I know it's going to make me feel better mentally, but also physically, and being able to do my job.
3 days off in a row, that's a vacation. It's not just a long weekend, it's a vacation. You straight up checked out. That's really hard to do if it's something that's a regular thing for you. You don't want that. It's gonna stifle your growth so much, right? Avoid that at all costs. Stay in the game. Travel workouts, do them. If you're staying at a hotel, I don't know about this COVID country we got going on now, but normally you access to dumbbells and things like that, do it. But even then, you don't need it. You have a jump rope. We know we have practice to do there, right? But keep grinding. The grind is my responsibility. What does that mean? How do you interpret that? It's on you. Nobody can make you go to the gym. Nobody can make you show up here, right? A little bit of guilt maybe sometimes, but it's your choice. It's your choice. You have to make the choice to show up. You have to make the choice to put out. That air bike's hard, but it makes you really good. I don't like that machine, but I love that machine because of the results that it provides, right? There's really nothing like it. That's why we need it. A little bit of practice every now and again. When you're grinding, when you're constantly in it, right? It's not only your responsibility, but the results are your reward. That's one of the coolest things about fitness, is that you earn it. You don't own it, but you earn it. That's awesome to me. It's like doing the dishes or vacuuming the house or making your bed. There's a small sense of accomplishment that goes along with those things. It adds up, right, Felix? It adds up. The more you can do stuff like that, the more you can grind, the better about yourself you're gonna feel, and the more likely you will be to repeat the behavior. So your results compound, and they're your own. That's awesome.